Hello everyone, this is Shreyas and welcome to Calakar Presents Chance Pe Dance, a series of dance-related conversations with the experts. I'm talking about someone who's extremely humble, down to earth, and I'm talking about Mr. Sandip Soparrkar. So, sir, you can see the excitement I have today to have you here. So, how are you doing today?
Absolutely fine. Whenever you are here, it always feels wonderful, Shreyas.
Thank you so much, sir. It's great. I mean, as I said, I'm super excited. And before we move ahead, as we spoke about your kindness, we spoke about, I mean, I just, hardly had one or two words about India Dance Week. Of course, we'll have a detailed conversation about it. However, I would like to ask you one question and maybe we can start from there. Is Mumbai Maya Nagari mein, we have a lot of people who come every day to become a
Bilkul.
dancer, choreographer. Uh, Unfortunately, I mean, probably I would say unfortunately, people at times are school dropouts, college dropouts, because, they come all the way to achieve the big dream to become an artist or a performer. What's your take as an artist on the importance of education?
I think कहीं भी किसी भी शहर में आना बुरी बात नहीं है. अगर आपकी एस्पिरेशंस हैं, आपको वहाँ पे पहुँचना है, कि आपका कुछ गोल है, कुछ मकसद है, आप उसके लिए आगे आते हैं, आना चाहिए. बट आई थिंक अपनी पढ़ाई छोड़ करके, अपने घर वालों को छोड़ करके, उससे लड़ाई झगड़ा कर करके आना इज़ नॉट समथिंग एडवाइजेबल. बिकॉज ये जो इंडस्ट्री है, इट्स वेरी वेरी इमोशनल ड्रिवन. आपके इमोशन जो होते हैं वो बहुत सही जगह पे होने चाहिए. अगर नहीं हो साथ में तो आपको आगे बढ़ने में मुश्किल होती है. और अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट मेरा ये मानना है कि आपको सक्सेस तभी मिल सकता है जब आपके बड़े बूढ़ों का आशीर्वाद आपके साथ हो. अब वो ना हो तो आप कुछ भी करेंगे ज़िंदगी में, आप आगे नहीं बढ़ पाएंगे और खुश नहीं रह पाएंगे. सो उनको साथ में जोड़ करके, उनको साथ में रख करके अगर आप आगे आते हैं, किसी भी शहर में आते हैं, नो प्रॉब्लम. और जो पढ़ाई होती है, दैट इज़ एक्सट्रीमली इम्पोर्टेंट. वो आपको ज़िंदगी के बारे में सिखाती है, आपको आगे कैसे लोगों से डील करना है वो सिखाती है. It's not just learning mathematics or learning science, something like that. It's about learning life and making new friends with people and to understand all that. Education teaches you a lot more than just studies. और अगर आप वो छोड़ करके आ जाते हैं, अगर कहीं ना कहीं पे कुछ हादसा हो जाए आपके साथ, and you have to go back to your education, at least you have something to fall back to. So best is you finish your education, take your parents in support with you and come, and Bombay is the place. ये जगह ऐसी है, सबको वेलकम करती है, चाहे वो किसी भी शहर से क्यों ना हो.
So maybe if in case you're well educated, well learned, you can always have a backup plan if in case you fail in life. Brilliant. So on that note, sir, you just spoke about emotions. Do you think emotions play a huge role when you're curating something as an artist?
I think we all artists are emotional people. हमारी ज़िंदगी में जो भी हमारे साथ होते हैं, हादसे होते हैं या खुशियाँ होती हैं, उसके साथ में हमारे जो परफॉर्मेंस होते हैं वो भी जुड़े होते हैं. So it is very important to experience life through our emotions, and उसके साथ में जो भी आप कर सकते हैं क्रिएटिवली, उसको बाहर लाइए. या कुछ आप देख करके आपको इमोशनली कनेक्ट होता है तो आप बाहर लाइए, या कुछ एक्सपीरियंस होता है योरसेल्फ, उसको बाहर लाइए. एंड इफ़ यू हैव एक्सपीरियंस्ड इट, आई थिंक उसमें जो रस होता है आपके परफॉर्मेंस में और बढ़ जाता है. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ कॉपिंग समथिंग फ्रॉम समवेयर, यूट्यूब पे देख लिया और अपना कुछ कर लिया, जो आजकल बहुत फेमस हो गया है, बहुत पॉपुलर भी हो गया है, उससे आई वुड प्रेफर कि आप उसको एक्सपीरियंस करिए लाइफ को, और उसके बाद में डालिए आगे. ऑटोमेटिकली द परफॉर्मेंस विल बी अनदर लेवल.
I think you just brilliantly said that how important it is to be original, and not copying something. I think that's beautiful. Coming back on the education part, if I'm not wrong, I'm aware that you have done your education in hotel management.
That's right.
And so even after completing hotel management, what made you feel कि नहीं मुझे dance में career करना है?
Well, it's not just hotel management. I did my hotel management, I did my MBA, I did my PhD. I think education, whatever I learned, taught me a lot in my dancing field as well. So hotel management taught me hospitality, biggest part of hotel management. So dealing with people of different age groups, different size, shape, profession, whatever. Be it in a hotel or in a dance class. It's the same thing. In my dance class today, I get different types of people. Different age, different experience, different backgrounds, different culture. And that's what happens in hotels as well. So how to deal with them and to make them feel happy in where they are, I think that hotel management taught me. My MBA taught me how to market my school, how to market myself. I was in PR, so how to do PR for my work in dancing. A lot of things has come today because of my education. My PhD in world mythology taught me how to create different shows based on mythology. So I think it's very important that you, whatever you study, you use it in the right manner for your profession. Nothing in this life goes waste if you study it properly. Chorna is the last thing you should do in life. Take it ahead, build on it. Maybe you might not get 100% out of it, but you will definitely learn something from it.
So, sir, you just said that, chodna is the last thing in life. Have you ever felt कि अभी नहीं हो रहा है, maybe I want to quit, अभी, I'm done, did you ever get that feeling when it comes to dance and art?
Well, it hasn't happened to me as yet. I'm still 25. It's happened to me as yet, but I think it does feel that sometimes you feel that, oh, I need to put extra effort. Because what I could do when I was much younger, I probably can't do it now. So I need to put extra effort for it. Earlier, I could rehearse 2 hours and I would be fine. Today, I have to put double the effort for it. So that is one part which sometimes you do feel, oh, earlier I would give this much time for it, but now I have to give this much time for it. So you need to balance your life in a different way because you have to put more time into your rehearsals than what we were doing before.
So, as you spoke about rehearsals, I know these days, and I don't mind me saying this, but there are a lot of people who say that, okay, I want to learn dance maybe, for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then I want to put in reels and I want to be a content creator. Would you mind, to share some of your thoughts on this particular aspect of?
I think people watching your show will just hate me for it, but I think dance जो है, कला जो है, वो आप सीखते हैं अपने लिए, not to make a reel, not to make content, because to me my art is not content. To me my art is my art, and it enhances me, enriches me. और मुझे जो फायदा होता है मेरे आर्ट से, वो मैं रील में या कंटेंट में दिखाने से, that doesn't make a difference to anybody's life in that way. So आप सीखिए, अपने लिए सीखिए, अपने आप को इम्प्रूव करने के लिए सीखिए, अपनी पर्सनालिटी को इम्प्रूव करने के लिए सीखिए, और उसके बाद आपको रील बनानी है तो यू कैन मेक इट. Dance is an ocean. There's so much to learn. Learn as much as you can. Learn as many dances as you want to learn. सब कुछ सीखिए, और जब आप सीख जाएंगे, which is not few days, which is a couple of years, and उसके बाद में you can make as many reels as you want to make. But don't go with the purpose of a particular thing like a reel, or I want to lose 10 kilos of weight. And then once that is done, you leave the art form. So what's the point for it?
Absolutely. I think, you just well said. On that note, when did you think कि मतलब वो कौन सा ऐसा मौका था जब वो कैसा लगा कि no, I want to make my career in dance or, entertainment or in this particular field overall?
Well, I always wanted to make a career out of dancing, but I was not too sure if I could do it or not. And I come from a very middle class family, so it was difficult to take the decision कि मैं कब उसको करूँ और कैसे करूँ. I think I would like to thank my ex-boss, Sheetal Pinto. Now she lives in Canada, and she was one who told me that I think you are meant to do something else, and go ahead, try your luck in what you want to do, what your passion is, what your heart follows. Follow that thing, follow your dream, and if you are not successful, this job is always open for you. So that kind of gave me a confidence that okay, let me try. नहीं होता है तो शायद मेरे पास मैं यहाँ वापस जा सकता हूँ. And till today she tells me the job is still open for you. I don't want to come back right now. But I think that's confidence that she gave me. कि जाओ और तुम्हारे साथ हम लोग खड़े हैं. Not just my parents, but even her. And I think when you get support from friends and your family, वो जो जज्बा होता है वो और बढ़ जाता है. And then there's no looking back for a person who has great support.
Absolutely. I think, means, as you rightly said, it's always very important for all of us to move together. I mean, when you have that strong support, not just from the family, but the friends, as well as you said, with, maybe the ex-boss or a mentor, I can say, I think, it becomes easier to have success.
And I think also, if you put it in a philosophical manner, a tree which has got deep roots, deep support, will always stand firm. Your fruits are the part of life. The roots are the real art of life. If that is not going to be strong, no tree will stand firm. आपको awards मिलते हैं, प्रशंसा मिलती है, आपको लोग मिलते हैं, जो भी होता है, these are your fruits, it's part of it. कभी मिलेंगे, कभी नहीं मिलेंगे. पर अगर आपकी जड़ें मजबूत ना हो, आपके दोस्त और आपकी फैमिली आपके साथ ना हो, तो आप कहाँ खड़े हो सकते हैं? You'll be so emotionally weak all the time. Then how will you create things? How will you be able to be happy in what you're doing?
Very well said. I think so. So it's very important to have that firm grip of everyone around you who's supporting you. And on that note, sir, means why Latin American and ballroom? Why not any other dance form?
Well, when my father was in Germany and I was young that time, and I would love to have learned in classical dance, to be honest, but my mother is a Bharatanatyam dancer, and she said that, but there was nothing available that time. So she said, only that's available is ballet, go and learn ballet. So I went for ballet class. I was the only boy in the middle of all the girls, and I felt a little strange for a few years. And after learning ballet for about 6, 8 years, I thought better was to move into Latin American dancing because there were wonderful moves there, and ballet got me a little boring. I felt it was not for me because it's more of a woman dance, and I thought Latin American is more of a man dance. So I joined my Latin American dance classes when I was 12, and I've been dancing since then.
So when you joined, the ballet classes, you were the only guy, as you said. Did you enjoy being a Krishna around all the gopis?
I enjoyed initially, but later I realized that it is actually a woman's dance. What a woman can do on toe and things like that, all the jumps and everything. It's a woman's dance. It's more woman centric. Man is a support for her. Like he'll lift her, he'll make her pose, he'll make her do everything, but everything she's doing. So in Latin American dancing, of course, the man also leads the woman, but it's his dance. So I think somewhere I thought that I want to do something which would enhance me and my dancing, and rather than supporting someone for a dance. So I did not do ballet, though I think ballet is absolutely wonderful. I admire the dance form, and I have some friends who are, you also know them, who are friends who went to ballet, and they are brilliant in what they do. But I think I felt my calling was something else.
Absolutely. I think, and the calling is something that, really changes your life.
Absolutely.
So when you came back, and I would say that personally, I feel you are a brand in yourself. Means, being a dancer, choreographer, philanthropist, you've done so many things. You've been an RJ, you've been a judge for, the reality shows. You've done so much of work, in this field. But how did this journey start? I mean, when you came back in India.
Well, it all began with my first film, Zubaida. So I was at this nightclub dancing away, and somebody comes and taps my shoulder and says, "Oh, are you a ballroom dancer?" It looks like that. Says, "Yeah, I am." So we are making this film called Zubaida, and we would want you to come and help us. So I was like, "Okay." I was on a holiday here to Bombay, and I was like, "Okay, let me just help them." And I walked into this office, and I see Shyam Benegal, I meet Manoj Bajpayee, Karishma Kapoor, Rekha ji, and I was like, "Okay." And what is this happening in front of me? I was in a nightclub last night, so it kind of just changed my life. And Shyam sir was absolutely wonderful. I knew nothing about choreography. I knew nothing about camera angles, lenses, nothing. And he taught me everything. He even gifted me with my lifetime membership for Choreographer Association. And then he paid me for it as well. So I was like, I thought I was going to help you. But I just realized that, the industry was wonderful through him. Though later I realized it wasn't so wonderful all the time. But I think the team I worked with, Mr. Benegal and his entire team, was absolutely fantastic. And Manoj Bajpayee also taught me a lot. Karishma and Kapoor taught me a lot when I was choreographing because they were the masters in what they were doing. And the film became a big hit. The dance was appreciated. And then he asked me to do a couple of more dances for him in the same film. I think things just took off in a different way. And Bollywood, you know what happens once you get a little recognition in a certain way, it kind of goes in that same stream. So all the love dances, honge, it was called Soparrkar for it. So I was doing all kind of romantic choreographies, and I think it worked quite well.
So a lot can happen, in a nightclub.
And when someone taps on the shoulder.
Interesting. You can just make your career in a nightclub. So, I mean, you've done so much of work in India, and I would really want you to talk about all the work that you've done internationally as well. Without me speaking anything, I know whom all you've choreographed, and how amazing it is. Can you please share your?
So my first experience happened when I choreographed this film called The Myth with Jackie Chan. And it got this opening at the Cannes Film Festival, and we shot for it in Hampi, a certain portion in Shanghai. So that was my first international project, and working with Jackie Chan was a dream come true because there was not much to teach him because he's so fantastic. You just show him anything and he'll just do it for you. So it's like that simple. And Malika Sharabat was in it as well, so it was wonderful working with him for the first time. And then I taught Shakira to dance, which was a superb learning experience for me. I remember going for a class at 6 in the morning, and I reached about 10 minutes before time, and she was ready with her warm up. And I just thought to myself, a lady of that stature doesn't have to be ready at 10 minutes to 6 for a dance teacher to come to her. She could have just said, okay, good morning, fine, let me get ready for you and let me do my warm up for you now, like which normally would happen otherwise. And that's why she is where she is. I think it's just interesting to work on international projects because they teach you a lot of things. I was working on this film called Nine with Rob Marshall, and I remember we went to clear our payments. My piece was 22-second piece in the whole film, 22 seconds. We rehearsed for 10 days for it. And when I finished my shoot and I went to pick up my money, they said, oh, today, this was daily payments, right? So he said, oh, today you worked for 8 hours, 52 minutes. So I was like, so am I getting paid for 52 minutes? He said, yes, you are. So I was like, wow, I wish this happens in Bollywood because it never happens in Bollywood like this. So there are so many things when you work on international projects, you realize that there's so much more we need to learn ourselves, or we can learn from them as people and make ourselves better, because it's not easy to stay on top and not easy to hold a position on top if you're not consistent with what you're doing.
Absolutely. I think, as it's means, said that, it's easy to climb, but not to maintain that. It's very difficult to maintain that position. So as you just spoke about a little discipline that, someone coming 10 minutes prior, and you also mentioned that, you come from that military background. Do you think that military discipline is something that, made you reach wherever you are right now? Means all of that discipline altogether?
On time is the biggest thing in the army. So be it your school or be it your mess or be it wherever you go, certain things army teaches you. And I think that is where we learn to have this discipline in life. I still remember my father going for a 5 o'clock morning jog every day and telling us to get up at 6 o'clock and go for our athletic training. I think that's something which is still there in our house. We still wake up at a certain time. We still sleep at a certain time. It just gets a part of your life, and it, I think, converts it into your dancing as well. It comes into your personality as well. And I think travel is something which teaches you enormous things, be it in your own country or be it out of country. आप इतना सीखते हैं, इतनी जगहों को देखते हैं, उनकी हिस्ट्री के बारे में सुनते हैं, पढ़ते हैं, देखते हैं, खाते हैं, इतना कुछ आपको देखने को मिलता है that the knowledge automatically increases to another level completely.
Absolutely. And do you think that, it also helped you to learn different cultures and be more adaptable?
बिल्कुल। इतने इंडिया में ही नहीं, इतने अब्रॉड, इतने जहाँ पोस्टिंग हुई मेरे फादर की, सब कुछ देखा. एंड ही हैड अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग रूल विथ हिम that every weekend we have to go out and see the city that we are in and to see the neighboring cities that we are close to. It was a rule in our house. You Monday to Friday do your school, whatever tuitions, whatever you want to do, and Saturday, Sunday is family time to go out together and discover the place that you are in. And we would keep getting guests because we have big houses, and in the army you get all the facilities. So a lot of relatives keep coming, and when they come, you take them out as well. So there is you need to know your city very well before you take them out. So first 6 months, 8 months was our time to discover our city in terms of food, in terms of jewelry, clothes, anything that place of interest or whatever there is, and learn about the city, learn about the place. So today when someone tells me I'm going here, I say, yeah, go see this, go see this. It's like a big list of things I can tell them. That's because I have been there, I've seen it all. So it just feels absolutely wonderful that a job that my father did, it helped me as well, and my brother as well, all of us. And that's what enhances our personality a lot.
So you could just plan their entire itinerary that,
I can do that. I can be a nice travel guide.
So you can again, fall back on that as well.
Absolutely.
So said that, okay, let me ask you, which are the top 3 cities or, the countries which you love the most globally?
It's a tough question to ask. Okay, so I love Paris. I think Paris is absolutely romantic. You can just walk around Paris and just feel, you don't feel anything at all. It just feels like, oh, dream. Okay, Champs-Élysées, walking near the Louvre or something like that. It's absolutely brilliant. And the weather there is superb all throughout the year, so you don't have to worry about it. It's not like Bombay, hot all the time. So it's nice. New York is good. It's just the vibe of Bombay city. It's buzzing all the time, doesn't sleep at all. So if you want to do work and party and still do things and not sleep at all, just like Mumbai city, New York offers you that. And I think also, which is very, very now I think is interesting, is Tokyo, because it's so technologically friendly that everything is on your fingertips. Though I don't appreciate so much because I'm a little orthodox in my certain ways of life, but I think it's a very interesting life. And everything there is bang on time, including the trains. So I think it just feels nice to be in a country which is running technologically. Everything is technology, including your own life, most of it. So it's an interesting thing to see.
And I think, in all of these three places, you just mentioned such a huge diversity.
Absolutely. All three different parts of the world.
So, coming next, what I've seen personally is it's not just Latin American or ballroom, but you just love all dance forms equally. You respect them. You've helped multiple artists to come together and put something like a great creative piece together. So much of work you've done, and that's where I would like to talk something about India Dance Week, wherein a platform wherein so many artists, so many dance forms who come together. Please tell us something about that.
My grandfather once told me a very nice shloka in Sanskrit. He said, Yastu sanchate deshan, yastu sevet panditan, tasya vistaritat buddhistela revam bhasin. Which means that if a person is traveling and meeting different people, you become like that drop of oil that travels everywhere in water and enhances your own self. So when I would travel so much and I would meet different cultural people and see their dances, see their music, hear the instruments, I would just feel that we as dancers have separated ourselves by saying, "ये हमारा classical festival है, ये हमारा salsa festival है, ये हमारा folk festival है." We haven't thought of something which says we are dancers. हमारा दिल एक है, हमारे movements एक हो सकते हैं, हमारे एक music पे काफी लोग dance कर सकते हैं. Why are we separating ourselves because of our dance form? So let's do something where we can bring all of it together. And when I won the National Excellence Award, that's when I said, let me try to use my award money and use it for something which is more interesting and bring all dance forms together. So I brought in India Dance Week, where we tried our best to bring as many dances as possible together, be it folk, which you always do for us, or classical, which Nalanda does for us, and we do our Latin American dances. We have some of my friends who come from, if they are here in town from other countries, they come and perform. I've had Ryoko Dave, who's a Japanese dancer, come and do a Japanese dance. I've had some friends from Sri Lanka come and do a Canadian dance. So I've had different people come and perform various dance forms. So I think it just feels nice to bring the world together on a floor of India Dance Week. And I got support from Phoenix, and they are also part of it for many years now. And we just try to create a show where we can educate people about variety of dance forms and not just stick to one particular genre and say, हम यही करेंगे.
Brilliant. And with all the experience you have, you're just 25 right now.
Absolutely.
How do you maintain yourself? I mean, how you've been consistently looking the same, means, be it your skin, be it your fitness, you're just there. I mean, how have you maintained yourself like that for those 25 years?
L'Oreal color number 3. Well, I think as a dancer, you just have to be always careful of what you're doing. You can't just lose yourself. You can't lose your body, because our body is a temple. Through this we pray, through this we send messages to people, through this we convey things to each other. You can't just let it be. And which I see a lot of dancers after some time lose it in different ways. Either you get complacent and you feel that, okay, I mean, I've achieved it all, now I don't have to do anything about it. Or we just travel so much that we kind of lose on our thing of, oh, we need to just keep eating everything possible. So I think you need to find a balance. It's difficult. I understand it's difficult, especially when you experience luxuries of life. You travel out of the world, you stay in best hotels, you get best treatment, you get best food. One can lose everything, but I think it's important to not do that. Because if you want to dance for a longer time in life, you need to just take care of your temple that you're in. And if you can't do that, remember, it won't last for a long time.
Absolutely. So again, we are coming back here on the word discipline.
Yeah, absolutely. I think dance is all about discipline. It's all about riyaz. It's all about practice. And जब तक आप में वो discipline नहीं रहेगा, वो अनुशासन नहीं रहेगा, आप कैसे आगे बढ़ पाएंगे? किसी भी चीज़ में आगे नहीं बढ़ पाएंगे आप. Even if it is your work that you do, if it's not to do with art, if any other work you do, you have to be disciplined. If you are going to an office, you need to still be disciplined. So you need to have your cheat days. You can go partying on a Saturday night. You can go and eat a pastry or chocolate once in a while, but you can't do it every day, because it's just going to not help you. And finally, if it's not going to help you, what's the point of doing it? If this is your profession, you want to make it last for a lifetime, then you have to do that for a lifetime.
So on that note, what are the 3 tips which you would give it to all to just be like you? I mean, I just want to listen to that.
First of all, I'm not going to give anybody any tips, but I think I would just say that just don't go overboard with what world offers to you, because there are, when you start performing, when you start dancing, you will get a lot of praises from people. Don't get carried away, because if you get carried away, you will lose what you have. You still need to understand, look at the mirror and say, did I actually perform well or not? People might like it, but did I like it is the question. And it doesn't really matter what somebody likes it or does not like it. You should be able to appreciate your own art form. Yes, I did a good job today, or I was better last time. So you are the best judge for your own self. So if you do that, you will be able to be fine with things. And second, I would not probably give 3, I'll give a second one. And I'll say that dance is a visual medium. आपका appearance जो है, that's important. I'm not saying you should have 8-pack abs like Shah Rukh Khan now. But what's important is you need to be fit enough to do various things. Dance is very demanding. Physically, emotionally, even sometimes financially, it's very demanding as a job. So you need to be very, very careful that you are taking care of yourself in all aspects.
So true. So coming on to my last question. You have been doing so much work as a philanthropist, and I know you haven't really been really making a gaga about it, or speaking a lot about it. Of course, all the great work you're doing. Can you tell our viewers that what is something that you're right now doing in this particular field, and if in case ever anyone needs any particular support, or can you give a little direction to them as an artist?
Well, what I'm doing right now, actually, many things. I am performing on stage, which I've always been doing. My classes are also going on. We keep creating new shows. We keep performing at new different festivals, be it nationally or internationally. I'm also heading in India Fine Art Council, so there also we help young dancers to go to international levels for different festivals. And mostly dancers in the age group of 20 to 35 is what the young ones. We are helping to send them to different international festivals through India Fine Art Council. India Dance Week also is there, which is my festival. Then I'm doing some stage performances as an actor. So I have got some new plays that I've been a part of, but they all have some messages to it. So I prefer to work on something which always leaves back a thought in the mind for somebody when they come to watch something. I don't believe in just going and watching a dance or a performance for entertainment purpose. I think art is a window to society. और अगर आपने ऐसा कुछ काम करते हैं तो इट शुड गिव आउट अ मैसेज टू पीपल हु आर सिटिंग देयर. अगर वो बैठा हुआ इंसान वहाँ पे कुछ एक संदेश वापस देके नहीं जाता है, there's no point of person coming there for an event. My radio show is also going on, so it's meant to my second season. So that also is a part of my every 10 days I go record a show. So there's a lot happening and I'm enjoying myself.
So thank you so much for all the insights, and on that note, we'll just move on to a quick next segment.
Okay.
Okay, so on that note, we're just going to move on to the next quick segment. Okay, just to so let's see, how it goes. It's a rapid fire round. Sandeep as a person is
Happy-go-lucky.
I love.
My dance form.
I hate.
Nothing at all, actually.
How beautiful. Dance means.
The world to me.
Last but not the least, film choreographies or stage performances?
Stage performances.
Really, you were super. I mean, it was so impromptu.
I was scared कि क्या पूछने का मुझसे ये, but thank you for the easy questions.
No controversies at all. But thank you so much, sir, for your time. And on that note, if you have any particular questions for Sandeep, sir, please do put it in the comment section below. And thank you so much for your time once again. And I hope you enjoyed this conversation.
Absolutely. Always wonderful talking with you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Shreyas. Thank you.
Small token of love from us.
Thank you so much.
I hope you like it and
Absolutely.
you enjoy
My
it.
kids will love this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks
Thank
a
you
lot.
so much, everyone. Great being on your show.